Good evening and welcome to AFTV News Daily live at
Check this guy out.
Try something different, innit? Alright, let's get into it. How's it going, people? Welcome to AFTV. You've tuned into...
That's more like it. Come on.
You tuned into News Daily. We've got a lot of headlines for you guys today. A lot of talking topics. Let's start off straight away. We've got something from Fabrizio Romano on Twitter talking about Emile Smith Rowe is ready to sign a new deal until June 2026. Turkish. How you feeling about that? You happy about that?
Yes, definitely happy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the youngsters that has shown something when given the chance. He's one of three I think we definitely need to keep hold of over the next 5 years if possible. Him, Martinelli and Saka. So definitely good news. 2026 protected well.
Do you buy into any of this stuff of like, if we sign more creative midfielders, it stifles his progress? Do you buy into that at all?
Nah, because listen, competition should help motivate. It should help aid development. Because mentality and character is a big thing for me, for footballers, and I think it's been lost over the last 10, 20 years on how important it is. And I think when you bring in someone as competition, that should be able to motivate Emile Smith Rowe enough to keep pushing, to keep continuing his development, to make sure that he knows that he needs to keep up this level and better moving forward.
Yeah,
so I think it could aid his development as much as it can hamper it, because it might turn him off. He might think to himself, well, why are you doing this? But at the end of the day, we need depth. It's something I've called out for years. We need depth in every position. Yeah. Because I think depth, competition provides a winning mentality around the squad.
Right, I'm with you. Right, now there's a lot of news stories that have come out today that we're going to discuss, but on that topic of competition and stuff and mindset, and I know you're an advocate for we need leaders, right? I've been watching, this is a bit off topic, I've been watching the build up to the Euros, a lot of international football, obviously.
Come on.
Yeah, England, for me, they never beat a team convincingly, yeah? I don't know what it is. No matter who we play, whether a good team or bad team, it's never convincing. But what I want to look in on is that, like, the leader sense. So, Saka's around players that have won the Champions League, they've won the league. There's a lot of leaders in it. I would say Maguire's a leader, Rashford's a leader on and off the field. You've got Raheem Sterling in there, Mason Mount. So he's coming into a changing room that have breathed winners, right? You don't really get that replicated here at the moment here at Arsenal. Obviously, you can say Xhaka's a captain of Switzerland. He's a leader to some people. Yeah. And then the likes of, I say Tierney is a natural leader. So he's gone on his international break and then coming back probably thinking, I've got this. I'm a leader. Robertson also a leader. But what I'm focusing on is Saka when he returns. Will he have leadership qualities when he returns? Is it something he can bring to the Arsenal changing room?
Listen, leadership at Arsenal has been a problem for years. Years. The way we kind of tossed around the captain's armband, it's resulted in what we have now. It got tossed around to people that we tried to keep hold of at the club, which I believe are the wrong reasons. And then it went to 5 captains, and now it's the person that gets along most with the fan base. That's how I see it. After Xhaka, it had to go to the person that connects the most with the fan base. And although Oba's not a natural leader in the captaincy sense, he is the one that we're most connected with, well, in terms of experienced players. Saka, he's already a leader in my opinion.
Yeah, through performance and how the levels he sets for himself and how they implement on the pitch. I agree with that. Obviously, he's still very young. We can't rely on him to be the captain just yet. Yeah. But I think with him coming back, with being around all these leaders, hopefully he can take some qualities and bring to the dressing room at Arsenal. Because like you said, I think right now we're lacking strong leaders, if I'm honest. And hopefully whoever we could sign a leader maybe. It's a lot to ask for, to sign a player and say, listen, you've got to come to the dressing room and change things. I think Bruno Fernandes did that for United.
It's a sad reality though, because look, we have to admit we don't have that. We don't have leadership. We don't have that mentality. So as much as it can come through with the youngsters who are 19, turning 20 and into their early 20s, we're going to need to buy the ones with experience because they're just not there. What 24-year-olds do we have at the moment that you can say can be our leaders in the next 3 years? I'd say Tierney is the obvious choice.
Yeah, of course.
But aside from Tierney, Partey's coming to his 30, age of 30. Yeah. Oba's already in his 30s. The other experienced players we got, we're going to talk about soon enough. Rightly so.
We'll get to that, Willian.
So we have to buy it. It's a hard job, but we have to buy them. But it's their fault we're in this. So as hard a job as it is, as unrealistic as it sounds, the people that are here to fix what has been created, they created this. I don't really feel sorry for them. I don't really feel like we should really give them the benefit of the doubt or try and lower our standards to remain realistic. You know, that aids them.
Okay,
So-
yeah. All right, now, transfer little update come through today. I hope I say this right. It's a Scottish player. His left back, his name is Josh. Please don't do this wrong. Doig? D-O-I-G. I'm going to go with Doig.
Listen, I hadn't heard the pronunciation, so I can't rip you. So
People in the comments, if you're there, let me know if I've said it right. Right, so he's a Scottish left back. He's probably coming in as a left back replacement for Kieran Tierney. Very young, 19 years old. He's played 24 appearances last season, 2 yellow cards, 1 goal and 4 assists. Very young. He plays left back and can play right back, but mainly a left back. For me, I'm not going to call him a B-Tech Kieran Tierney, but I think it's just a young replacement. I don't know too much about him, I'm going to be honest, but Scottish Premier League.
with the backup positions, as much as I just said we need quality and whatnot, like, the backup positions, they can go for an unknown, but it's time they start being shrewd with it. So it can be a shrewd one, but if history is anything to go by, you know, more often than not they get it wrong. That's why I'm so pessimistic about it all. But the backup left back position, as much as it's a priority, look at when we signed Kolasinac. He was in the Bundesliga Team of the Year. We got him on a free. It looked like a major coup. Like, it looked like we've actually managed to get a good player.
That's true.
Going into his prime. He was just in Bundesliga Team of the Year, and we've got him on a free. But look how that worked out. So someone like this could potentially work out, but at the end of the day, I'm more of the opinion that I hope Tierney remains fit. That's our biggest problem. I want Tierney to be playing at least 35, 40 games a season, and that gives the backup 10, 15. But the way it's been over the last couple of years, it's been kind of Tierney 25 games and the backup 25 games. Hence why the backups have come to light as so poor, because they're taking on more responsibility than they should have.
Yeah,
So
and he's been overplayed at a young age, but it is what it is. People are saying I'm overpronouncing it. Call him, replace the J with a G. Doige. Do you know what? Let me not do this.
So don't ask him to replace anything with anything, because this guy here, Monroe, is still ringing in my head. Monroe.
Monroe had a good season though. Big up Monroe. Monroe. Big up. He scored. He got Man United knocked out as well. Well, not knocked out. They won through Monroe. So
only Monroe I know is Marilyn Monroe. That's the only Monroe I've heard of.
All right. Lebert Francis has got a super chat. It says, I'd like to see Basuma, Partey, Neves in the midfield. Otherwise, we need to Basuma, Partey, and a quality #10. Any updates on the new right back guy?
So I'd like to see Basuma, Partey, Neves in midfield. I think
You want Neves as well, yeah?
Well, I'm just going off what he's saying here, yeah.
Oh.
And in terms of Xhaka, I feel like Neves as a direct replacement for Xhaka is an improvement. I've seen a lot of Neves slander, and listen, he is not the pick of the bunch in terms of what we've gone into the summer needing.
Yeah.
I still think Basuma or that type should be a priority. I'm just worried that this club will go get Neves and that will be it for the central midfield, hoping we forget that going into this summer, we didn't actually think Xhaka was going to be sold, and we knew we needed a midfielder. So now Xhaka's being sold, us fans need to know we need 2 midfielders. So he's right.
2? I think we might
Basuma and Neves. Well, no, we need more. We need everyone gone but Partey.
Okay, yeah.
But in a realistic sense about the rumours and the names in and out and whatnot, we see Basuma and Neves being linked. We need both of them. It can't be a Partey or War thing like last summer where it was or. It needs to be and. I don't want to see or in between Neves and Basuma or Lakanga or whoever. Samari looks like Leicester at the moment.
Did the Buendia fallout affect you as an Arsenal fan? It hurt me. Did it affect you?
Definitely, because losing out to Aston Villa is like a new low in a sense. Listen, we lost that to Louis Gustavo, to Wolfsburg. Jamie Vardy turned us down, you know. So we've had moments like this in the past. But Buendia was obviously a prime target for us. We wouldn't go into the summer and make him the first, big bid. Look, for us, 30 plus million or around the 30 million mark is a big bid, especially where we are now. To lose out on him, I like him as a player, but to lose out on him to Villa and to know further stamped that our club can't even compete no more with these clubs, or this is our playing field now, the 30 million mark.
But that hurts me, bro. The 30 million mark.
Aston Villa are showing more ambition at the moment. They've been linked to Ward-Prowse. They obviously spent a bit last summer.
What hurts me as well is the fact that we're selling players for such low price tags, but we're buying players for, like you said, 30, 40 million. Like, we're going to get onto Bellerin and Willian and Xhaka and all that. They're looking to leave for like around 20 millions and whatnot. So it's just like, what's going on here? I want to go back to some super chats. I just want to quickly touch on something as well. Robbie did say in the transfer day this morning, me and James spoke about Neves. We kind of palmed him off in the sense of that. I think he's good. He's a good player. He's a great player. For me, I want Partey and Basuma to be the main focus this summer. Well, Partey, we've got obviously Basuma to come in. I think he could do the role that Neves does and have a more creative player in the 10. I want my first choices. I wanted Buendia. I wouldn't mind Odegaard back in. There's talks of a war, but we'll come to that later. Right, let me just take this next super chat from Simon Z. Being a Gunner fan over the last 15 years has been painful. I don't believe squat till I see player being introduced back in. Let's see.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. He sounds like me. So yeah, he's right. Over the last, how can you believe anything they say or do? They just told us they're gonna engage with us more. They haven't spoke since they told us they're gonna engage with us more. Yeah. And since that time, we finished 8th. We've been knocked out by Villarreal, and we've lost that to Aston Villa and on Emi Buendia.
But he did come to the last game of the season.
Last game of what season, man?
I'm joking. Josh was hiding. He was hiding. We didn't even know he was there until he was in the stadium.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't exactly announced.
Exactly that. Looper again. Francis says Neves has goals in his game, long range quality goals. He does. He has scored some bangers.
And that's a quality that, it can open space for attackers too, because you need to close a player like Neves down, even outside the box.
Yeah, which creates space for the...
Right now, we don't have that. To be honest, we haven't had that sort of player for a long time. Even when we used to get that sort of player under Wenger, it's like he was told... Rosicky came with a reputation of banging.
Bangers, yeah.
And he had a couple at the back when he scored one against Dortmund, and then slowly but surely he became a tiki-taka, try and walk it into the box type of all of that.
They fall into that.
So we need someone like that too, and if Neves can bring that, but my ideal would be Basuma Partey.
Yeah.
But if you have Neves there as an option, Neves can go next to either. So we'd have a good rotation, we'd have good options in there. Your options can't be similar, they need to be different so you can do different things. So,
right.
Listen, this is the season where we have no Europe, so we've got less games, but we can focus more. So the midfield needs bodies right now. If we can get both in and get them three playing together over a season, it could set us up well moving forward.
Do you think signings will be done early when the transfer window opens tomorrow, or do you think it's going to be...
No, there's no chance. Arsenal needed a week or two to complete transfers, and we're not on the verge of completing anything, so there's no chance we're getting anyone before the Euros on Friday.
Does that...
Copa America starts and all of that, so...
You're comfy with that, innit? Are you not annoyed? Does that not frustrate?
I'm not comfy with it, I'm used to it. Listen, I wish it was very different, but I'm used to this.
There's lower teams doing pre-transfers before the window's open, and you're telling me, which I know is going to be the case, Arsenal are going to wait till after the Euros.
Yeah.
Well,
worrying times.
IA says Arsenal should get Rodrigo De Paul. Yeah, cool. Similar to Buendia, but more versatile and better passer in my opinion, and he costs the same as Buendia. Anyone that watches Serie A will tell you how great he is.
I've heard the name. I've heard good things of Rodrigo, but again, listen, with Arsenal, someone like Buendia was ready-made, in my opinion, because it looks like he's happy here. He's gone through the vigors of Championship and 2 seasons of it. For me, that made the most sense. But there are other options out there. Yeah, it's just losing out to Villa was the main thing in that deal for me. It just highlights to not only us fans but to the world where we are right now and how far we've fallen. So it's all
just painful, man. I'm trying to keep it nice and upbeat, but the realism of this club is just like we're just waiting and hearing rumours that we know is not going to happen until towards the end. We're going to move on to Dani Ceballos. Do you know what? A lot of players that have left the club recently have said some really nice things about Arteta. Whether that changes anyone's mind on Arteta, it's up to you.
There must be something in the contract they put in that said when you leave, you have to bring out a couple sentences that
that back me.
Yeah,
yeah. So I want to get into what Dani Ceballos said on Arteta. So he said, Arteta is a coach who I am sure will be one of the best in the world in the next few years. So yeah, that is what Dani Ceballos says on Arteta. I mean, do you know what? I think he is. I believe he's a good coach. I really do. Manager, I have questions. Clearly from the season before, I do want him out of the club. I have said it. I do want him out. But I mean, there's a lot. Like I said, a lot of players are backing him. Mustafi the other day said about trust the process. He's going to be world class as well. So like, there's a lot of play. And I'm not one to believe whatever player says on social media. I'm not one of those guys. But I mean, he's got a good record with the players.
Listen, there's not, there's players I listen to, and then there's Danny Ceballos and Mustafi. That's how I see it, and that's me putting it very respectfully. I could have put this in a very different way, but
Kieran Tierney did come out and say some nice things about Arteta as well. But
at the end of the day, listen, Kieran's my guy.
Well, he's still at the club. To be fair, he's still at the club. So that's his manager.
Willian came in saying good things about him, Champions League and all that. Other players came and said he signed a new contract. Arteta was a big part of that. Partey came. This is all PR. At the end of the day, let me see it.
Yeah, fair.
Let me see it.
Fair. Okay, so from one player who's left the club and spoken on Arsenal to another player who's just coming back from a loan and is very much undecided. Ainsley, Mason, and Niles. So he had some words to say. I think it might have been today. This was reported from, I believe it was from Fabrizio Romano. I can't even say his name. Fabrizio, let's go with that.
Romano, my guy. Romano.
That's a hard one, is it? I'm terrible with names.
Romano.
See, this is why James is here. He's very, he's Italian. Very, you know what I mean? Right, anyway, let's get to it. So Ainsley Maitland-Niles on his future at Arsenal. He said, I want a decision. Very straight to the point. I want a decision, full stop. I want some clarity, then hopefully I can get to work with whoever I need to. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then kiss Arsenal goodbye.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's not what he said.
That's what he said. He said, if it works out, it works out. But if it doesn't, kiss Arsenal goodbye.
That's what he said.
I respect him for it. I just think how far we've come. I could never imagine back in the day a young player at Arsenal saying that and being able to walk back into the change rooms comfy. Kiss Arsenal goodbye.
He can save his kiss because that's wasting valuable seconds. If that's the way he's talking, then please. Because I see very few players taking ownership of what's happened at Arsenal over the last few years. Even though I know it's above them and I know the board and the ownership are a problem, none of these players come out and are honest with themselves. A lot of them come out very arrogantly. If he said that, that's arrogance in my opinion. Kiss Arsenal goodbye. Like Arsenal didn't give you multiple chances to prove yourself. Regardless of the position you've been playing in, come on. Like, I'm tired of being disrespected by some of these players as well. And I feel like even down to the comments Mustafi made about, I feel like it's banter at times. Obviously the players see what we see and they know it's embarrassing right now, but at the same time it's not like they stand up for us. More often than not they're bending over for the people ripping us. So I'm sorry, but if that's what he said, kiss Arsenal goodbye.
That's what he said,
then,
word for word.
Listen, at the end of the day, what's he even asking there? Because
that's what's confused me as well, Tex. I'm like, okay, cool. You went to West Brom, you played in the position that you wanted to play, playing centre mid, and now you're just trying to figure out, okay, so where I want to come back, and if you want me, then let me know. If not, I'm gone. But do you have the?
I think it's evident to see like that he should go. Not only for us, but for himself too. I said this a couple of years ago. There's a player in Ainsley, but he needs to understand that it's not happening at Arsenal, and he should have pushed through a move before. Now, in my opinion, with a loan move to West Brom that didn't really pay dividends, his value's gone down, which doesn't help us.
I hear that. Do you know what? Two perspectives. I'm gonna be honest. From a young player's perspective, I hear what he's saying. He has a lot of years left of his career. He wants to know what his future's gonna hold. He wants to get a decision so he can go and move on, either play up the league or down the league. He needs a decision. So, and Arsenal have messed around in the past, in my opinion. So, if he needs to go, then he needs to go. But he wants a decision, and
he should go. And like I said, it's not Ainsley parting is not as sour as, let's say, a Xhaka parting or a Bellerin parting. Like Ainsley going. Could help him out.
Exactly.
He could still turn it around here. I don't think he'll ever be at the level for a club fighting for Champions League football. But I'm not saying we are. But
I was going to say, I'm glad you didn't say it for an Arsenal.
Like that's where I want to get to in it. But at the end of the day, he can still turn his career around.
Yeah.
So I wish him well. But if those are the way if that's actually his comments, then I can't respect that, I'll be honest, because he's had opportunities at this club. Okay,
cool. I'm going to take some comments. So we've got Ashwin here with a super chat. Thank you, Ashwin. Padia. Ashwin from India. My brother is a Chelsea fan. His club is linked with Haaland. I'm crying from the inside and surrender myself. Okay then. Bro, I don't really know what else to say about that.
Look at what you've been writing here. Look at what my man's been writing.
Cronk it out, innit?
That's how you feel like my man there. You've just been writing it as I've been talking.
Yeah, I know, but listen, it is what it is. He's getting out. I know you probably didn't see that because of focus on that, but it says Cronk it out on there. We're going to take some comments here. Sell Eddie, Xhaka and Willian. Arsenal should sign, I don't know who that is. Guendouzi to Marseille on loan confirmed. 10 million obligation to buy. Oh, I need to check that. If that's the news that's just come in, we'll make sure we check on that.
What's that?
Just heard that. Let me go back to that. Sorry, the comments are flying in. Guendouzi to Marseille.
Oh, well, that was a rumour we heard a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, on loan confirmed. 10 million with obligation to buy. Please do check that for me.
I don't know if it's confirmed, yeah. Sometimes people on these chats, they like to...
Marco says, any news on Balogun? News on Balogun is he's looking to fight for first team football. He's going to be involved and he's going to be given an opportunity at the start of the season. He has to fight for his position. It was one of the statements released. We spoke about it yesterday on the Daily News Show. Make sure you check it out. Right, I'm going to quickly move on to... We're speaking about arrogance within players. Is this? I don't know if this is an arrogant move from Arsenal. I don't think it is, but I want to get your opinion. Arsenal are demanding 20 million or more for Hector Bellerin.
Listen, it is what it is. He's at that age now where I guess his prime is still around the corner, I guess, or I don't know. How old is he? He's about 25, 26, 25, something like that. Yeah.
I think he's my age.
Regardless.
Oh, he is my age. I'm sure he is.
Regardless, we need to get rid of him. It seems like
26.
he wants to go. He's 26 years of age. If we can recoup 20 to 25 mil, great. But that's the price tag he was at maybe a year or two ago. This is what another problem is with the club. They don't utilize the transfer value of players well enough. You know, he was definitely a higher rated 4 years ago. Definitely 2 years ago. Now I'd say 15 to 20 mil is more realistic.
15 to 20 mil.
Clubs have been impacted by COVID. I know we've come out the back end of it, but they're still reeling financially from some of those. And look at the clubs he's being linked with: Real Betis, Sevilla,
but he was
Villarreal.
linked back in the day. He was linked to Barcelona, PSG. He got called up for Spain. I mean,
he got called up for Spain because Jesus Navas got dropped. Jesus Navas, who was a winger. And the guy's about 39 or something. I don't know how old my man is. He dropped out of the squad and Bellerin. Listen, let me not sound like a hater here. But that's the reality of it. You know, people use that to me like Bellerin got called up by Spain.
Yeah, but bro, remember I've watched Bellerin for the whole season. I'm with you. But I'm just saying for other clubs, when I heard 20 million or more, I thought 20 million is quite a low starting price in my
Someone
opinion.
said 20 euros.
Bellerin big on the D says 20 euros. No, I hear that. I hear that loud. I just thought that is a low asking price to start with. But I suppose, like you said, it's a COVID season. A lot of clubs don't have money. But when we're in the battle for people like Buendia and they're asking for 30 plus, close to 40, Basuma, same thing, 40 million. I'm not saying Bellerin's the same sort of caliber, but when I speak to other fans, they always highlight Bellerin as like, oh, he's a good fullback. So I always think other clubs might think he'll be useful, but...
Yeah, but look at the level of the clubs that are interested in him now. I'm sure he can go there and be what he wants to be. You know, whether that's a right back or a model, I don't know. But, you know, listen, I'm just tired of it all. I know, and sometimes I come across very negative, but it's because I'm tired.
No, I get it.
I'm glad to see the back of some of these players like Xhaka, Bellerin, Mustafi, Ozil. There's Kolasinac, hopefully. Ainsley, it hasn't worked out. You know, we need to sort out Lacazette, Eddie, and there's so much we need to do.
Yeah.
It's time to do it now. Because a lot of fans are like me, that they've lost hope. A lot of fans are like me, they've given up tickets and stopped buying stuff and just stopped really loving the club like they used to. They still support from home, on the go, but it's not a priority anymore in life.
What year do you think really affected you when it comes to like loving the club, that really took away your love for it? Obviously, I know you were still obviously a supporter of Arsenal, we all are, but when was like the most painful year? Because for me, it might be because I'm here and I'm very much have to look at Arsenal every day. I had a quick awakening of taking my time with it in November, dancing
you did. And I knew you would before I knew you. When I saw that, I was like, you're in for it, mate.
Yeah, you wait. And then a couple months later down the line, I was like, oh, rah.
There you go.
And then you arrived and I was like, oh, rah. Then the protests happened. I was like, rah, there is serious problems. Obviously, the no fans as well affected for me just the enjoyment of watching football. So
The low point.
yeah. So when was like your? I know this is off topic, but when was your kind of like? What year do you think was your main low point? Was it this
The
season?
lowest point I think it's been as an Arsenal fan was Van Persie to United.
That one stung you that much?
I grew up on Arsenal United rivalry. That essentially finished that. It essentially finished that. And to me, that was a big thing. I know that you're a rap fan, right? Mm-hmm. I know there might not be many rap fans, but when Jay-Z and Nas, I was growing up, you know, they was at it and whatnot. It was always, and then Jay-Z brings out Nas one day, and it was a very like that sort of move in a sense. It was kind of like relieving the
beef and the real
when Van Persie went,
authenticity.
Yeah, that letter, the pain. When I look back, at the time I didn't think it was the most painful moment, but when I look back now, that's when it was like. And then 5-1 Munich on top of that was the first time I went on AFTV. So there's been various low points, but I think the Van Persie sale to United was
the killer.
The proof was in the pudding at that stage.
Yeah, they're starting to not normalise it, but it does happen. Even in the grime scene these days, like rappers have black beef, same thing. But then you see them they have the same artists on tracks like a few months down the line. The palliness, but yeah, it does affect me. I'm going to be honest. Van Persie one did.
That's true. 8-2 was another one. 8-2 was another one. Then we went and bought Arteta. We went and bought Santos. We went and bought Mertesacker. We went and bought. Not that summer. Park Young Chu. Yeah. We went and bought like 4 man off the back of an 8-2 loss. Like,
and they weren't.
What was you lot doing in that transfer window? There's so many examples of this ownership, and funny transfer windows. If you're outside looking in, it must just be funny. And that's why we're a banter club now. That's why we are embarrassing, because of the way they've treated the club.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know,
agree with
that's
that.
one summer. Then you have another summer that's 40 million and £1, and they're asking what we're smoking over here. Owners are asking what was, you know.
Yeah, and then they're signing Pepe on.
Then you have Czech one summer. You buy him in the first 2 weeks, and then you buy nobody else.
Yeah.
You were the only team in top 5 leagues not to sign an outfield player that summer.
Raw.
Things like that. And this is this ownership.
Yeah, and then I was going to say on top of that, we signed Pepe, we didn't pay the full, we had to do it in installments. Things like that, and say we've invested. That's what
and the thing is, as much as that Pepe deal even fooled me a little bit, because I wanted Pepe.
Yeah.
And the 70 million price tag, even though it was in, you know, parts and whatnot, I was fooled to think for that moment that yes, we've got a good player, let's continue building. That summer still didn't work out. I still wasn't happy with that summer because we didn't address what we needed to. But why do you think we're failing to add 5 mil to Buendia now? Because we're still paying for Pepe, you know? And that's not on Pepe, it's on the club.
Yeah,
you know, they do things that hold us back in 2 years. We bought Pepe, we've gone out of Europa League now. The money's gone down. So then we can't compete with Villa for Buendia.
Yeah, but they're telling us we're going to do a big summer, we're going to do a big spending.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
It's all lies, it's all, you know, rhetoric, it's all manipulation. It's
hanging
all
carrots.
Yeah, it's puppetry. It is.
That's what it is.
You know, but sooner or later, the majority of fans will have enough humph, I think.
And yeah, just more and enough backlog to realise like, we are really getting messed around.
Yeah,
like for real. It's quite a real show. No, Turkey. So I hear that very loudly. And yeah, let's take some comments. I'm sure people are going to want to get involved in this chat. You bring up some comments.
Well, someone said RVP said it himself in an interview. He waited for a new contract, but it never arrived, so he left, blamed the owners, and then he further added to that, saying obviously when he spoke to Gazidis and Hillwood and them lot, they showed him the figures, the money that the club is making.
Straight away.
Van Persie wants to win. You know, as much as I hate him for going United, I don't like that. It hurts. He was right. That hurts even more. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you look back at Van Persie's letter, if you search Van Persie Arsenal United letter, just those words in Google, read his letter and tell me it doesn't resonate till now. Till now, it could have come out yesterday. That same letter still is accurate till today. You add to that Fabregas coming out and saying there's not many winners.
Yeah. No, Van Persie did say that as well. I'm going to be honest. I remember listening to the documentary and he was saying like, I want to change some things. I had some ideas for strikers, how we can improve and all this. And they kind of just shut it down. They said that they had their own system in play. And he just said, but I want them to bet this to better the team. And I know it will. And they were like, no.
Yeah.
And when you get things like as a young, not a young player, he wasn't young then, that you feel you feel hurt. You want to better for the club, and you don't, and the club don't see the future progressing. So they're like, okay, cool, I'll bounce.
Like Fabregas when Puyol was it Puyol when them Spanish players were putting on the Barcelona shirt over him, on the stage that time. It hurt, but those Spanish players knew that it's a joke that he was at Arsenal. When I look back now, that's what they knew. Arsenal are a joke, so we put this over. We want him to come. There's this Andreas here. He says we've been too reactive and not proactive. 100% bang on.
That. Smack on.
Could have made double the amount on deadwood players and reinvested properly. Every buy has been out of desperation and we get bullied in the market. Facts.
I print that out, boy.
Facts,
that
Andreas.
Andreas, well said, 100%. We are very, very reactive. We're not proactive at all, and it shows.
Yeah.
Shows in even in this market today. And 15 years back or 10 years back, you'll see that. Maresh says, 20 years back, I remember I asked my uncle, why do you support Liverpool? He smiled helplessly. Recently, my nephew is a Chelsea fan and asked me, why do I support Arsenal? I laughed helplessly.
That hurts as well, because I used to ask people why they support Liverpool.
Yeah, bro, same. And many other clubs as well, bro.
I used to ask people why they support Liverpool. Now it's literally like that's the same reasons they gave.
Yeah.
I would now give.
Yeah. This was me yesterday. I started the show, the Daily News Show, James. I just ranted from the beginning because I was like, people are coming up to me like, congratulations, you work on AFTV. And then they look at me and they're about to talk about Arsenal. I say, please don't. Let's just not talk about Arsenal right now. Because if it's other fans and they try to cuss me, normally back in the day you could cuss people back. Now I just sit there and like, I've got to talk about our history.
Yeah.
And I used to cuss people to say, stop living in the past, live in the present. I can't use my own saying now to be. It's jarring. Plenty of comments coming in. Let's go back to the comments. Thank you guys, everyone involved as well. Let's go with. So we got Gion's Joy with super chat. Bid for Suarez was the bid for Suarez was one of the lowest points. It could have changed the club's fortune. It pains to see him and still having an impact. Fair.
Okay, let's go to Wayne here, who says, stop with the misinformation. We did not lose out to Villa. Villa wanted a 10% sell-on clause, which Arsenal refused. So we lost out. Because we refused to add something someone else added, no?
Yeah, we lost out.
Am I going mad here or
10% sell-on clause, which...
There's no excuse for it. We went out, we wanted Buendia. Buendia's going Villa. That's the facts. We wanted Buendia's going Villa. We wanted Buendia's going Villa. That is it. That's the only thing I see there. Forget the ins and outs of it all. This is Aston Villa we're dealing with, not United, City, Chelsea. If a 10% sell-on clause was the deciding factor in your primary target this summer, you do it. 10%. You do it. You do it.
Right, let's...
Sorry, Wayne, but that's the reality.
Listen, it is what it is. The Real Madrid Arsenal says Arsenal fans. Thank you for super chat. Arsenal fans and the owners are one. Oh, hold on, let me just check this. Are one the same? No occasions. Man United fans have real balls. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna just.
Let me see that quickly. Arsenal fans and the owners are one of the same. No balls. Man United fans have. Man United fans have shown that their anger is greater than ours, I guess. Will it matter much? Maybe not. Maybe but not. I am envious that they are angrier than us. I'm envious of them because I don't understand it.
Are you envious of obviously like I spoke about this yesterday as well? Like City paid for their fans to go to Champions League final. Chelsea are allowing a fan representative into the meetings now as well. I was talking about the Walsall owners have basically all the season ticket holders. They put their names on the third kit, and I was like, that is such a nice gesture.
Yeah.
And then even things like the Leicester, the owner coming
City
down,
City owner paying for the Champions League ticket.
Right. So all of that, like, I'm envious of that. Obviously, not the anger of Man United fans. I'm more envious of there's actually owners that are stepping up. Maybe PR. It may be to feel better PR. Fair enough. But at least they're doing something. With the Cronkies, there's still nothing, not at all, not a word from them, no sign that they care. And I know people can say we should know that already, but it's just like your back's against the wall, and we still haven't heard from you. They don't. It's just like, will we?
And I do see a lot of the chat saying that why does Turkish believe he's our priority when Dia's not the priority? Now, doesn't it make sense to you, or am I wrong? Like, the season finishes and Chelsea, it comes out they want Haaland or Lukaku. Their priority is a striker, right?
Yeah.
It's like telling me their priority is a left back right now, or something like that.
That's
Man
interesting.
United, the season ends, their Sancho
Yep.
seems like a priority, right? Yeah.
And a striker, yeah.
Season ends for Arsenal, we bid for Buendia. Surely that's a priority.
Yeah, but we lose.
Yeah, but surely going for that player
It's a
within
priority.
the couple of weeks of the season finishing, it's a priority. Or
Facts.
am I mistaken?
No, you're right.
Because some people are saying right back is a priority, and I agree, right back is a priority as much as central midfield is. But the club are showing what the priority is. Like last summer, we went for a while before Partey, so we showed we needed creativity. That didn't work out, so we went for Partey. You know,
So we down
which is completely different.
We didn't down tools, but yeah, we went for a second option, either a different position, shall we say. I was going to also say on that as well, sorry, I've just lost my train of thought. I'm going to go to the comments, as a professional should do. I've just lost my train of thought. When it comes back to me, I'll come back with you. Oz F says, I hate to say this, but there is no going back to the past. The Kroenkes are in the business of acquiring teams, not selling them. Not once has KSE sold a sports team. Look into the story of the St. Louis Rams, you'll see. No, I know about the story. They moved the Rams as well. They moved the Rams from their hometown all the way, I think you believe, all the way to LA, and it's just like that. There's loads of things that what he's saying is fully right there.
Yeah.
And the Kroenkes don't show any interest of selling. They probably won't. But we have to keep the pressure on them because that should be our main focus on top of all these other.
100%, because listen, the past, what you said about the past is right, and I bring the past up sometimes, but the past is so long ago now, and what the Kroenkes have allowed to happen is all the clout the club had, which is like when they came in, which is, you know, invincible, Champions League final, good players, you know, legends, a good core, good youth coming through, London, all of that stuff, top 5 globally in revenue, all that clout has gone. Yeah. So in terms of our past being relevant, it's not relevant anymore. Our past is our history, and our history makes up the club.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. And, you know, Invincibles, I can never forget that, and I never will forget that. But in terms of it being relevant for new players, new fans, you know, 17 years on, it's not so much. So it's about creating a new future instead of living in the past, in a sense. But with the current owners, which are the same owners who stripped the club of all the clout it had, it's very hard to create a new future. You know, hence why even talking about players sometimes it's neither here nor there, because I don't believe that even if we sign Tom, Dick or Harry, it's right back central midfield and that person, with these current owners, there's a limit. Yeah. Would you say that as well with the managing as well? Because I think the same thing. If we sign Tom, Dick and Harry, I still think with the manager as well, we'll hit we might see progression, but it's not going to be a title winning season. It's not going to be, I don't know, you could get top 4 next season if we get a good batch of people, but I'm asking for a lot there. It's very unlikely. This with the Cities, the Liverpools, the Man United. Do you know what? It's very unlikely. Yeah, it's very, but the thing is, what your point kind of is top 4 is not unfamiliar to Kroenke. We made top 4 for 10 years straight under the Kroenkes. But what did they show us? They showed us that top 4 was enough. So what faith do I have that just getting back into top 4 in the next 2-3 seasons, it's gonna with this ownership, there's no faith there that making top 4 will just be a stepping stone onto greater things. For me, making top 4 will again be the pinnacle for them.
Which be making top 4.
Hence why I'm trying to push this Kroenke stuff more current than waiting for the inevitable to happen, which is maybe get back in top 4, be in there for another 3 years, no ambition again, and then vice versa, roundabout cycle.
Fair. Comments. We're going to go into the big story of the day. We're just going to take 2 last comments here quickly. KD, a regular thank you, says Arsenal have been always lazy and lethargic. We need core group of players who are leaders on and off the pitch. I don't see anyone like that. We are linked. I guess linked with, I'm assuming. Yeah. Again,
big up KD true. As well. Big supporter of the channel and mine as well.
Yeah, big up KD. I don't know if you got any other super chats there.
Someone says. Helsel says we need a good central defensive mid. Looking to Alvarez. To be honest, I haven't heard of him, but yeah. What it is someone's also said, I wonder what Turkish will say when Dia doesn't perform. If you go to my my channel and my video when Pepe signed, I was there singing at the start of the video. Yeah. A chant for Pepe. I swear. Because I wanted him, and I thought we couldn't get him being in Europa League, but we got him. I was gassed.
Right, I didn't know that.
But I'm sitting here saying to you, he hasn't lived up to expectation. Same way with Ozil. As soon as that rumour came out, I bought his shirt the day before. The people in the shop were saying, "Are you sure?" I said, "Put his name on the shirt." They're like, "He hasn't been given. He's not signed yet. He had no number." I said, 11. It's happening. Because I was gassed. Did it work out? No. So if Buendia goes to Villa and it doesn't work out, that's fair enough. I can hold my hands up and say it hasn't worked out. But we're fans. We're not paid to scout, find the best players, be shrewd in the market. We're fans. Fans of the club, fans of football. So you get some wrong, you get some right. But at the end of the day, just being blind to it all and acting like we are on a good ride. We're not on a good ride. You know, we're not on a roller coaster. Roller coaster's fun. You know,
what you're saying fun, no? Being night fun.
Listen, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, but even that roller coaster analogy is gone because roller coasters are fun. There's highs and lows.
So
this season, has there been any highs? Even last season, the high was saved by the FA Cup because we finished 8th.
Yeah.
So again, that was a season of pretty much all lows, and the high came at the end. This season, it's been low, 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 low. Any high was Emile Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, and Saka.
Yeah. So, quickly, thank you guys for the super chats as well. There's loads flooding in, so thank you very much. Real Madrid, Arsenal again. Arsenal have 2 negatives. 1, Arteta. 2, no Europe. No serious player wants to take that chance in their career. This is our story for a long time. There's a lot of truth in that as well. Andy Arsenal says Arsenal fans don't hold the people that run Arsenal accountable. When Wenger sold RVP, he should have left. When Xhaka makes a mistake, he should have left. When Kroenke doesn't invest and care, he should have been booted out. I mean, all these comments are just there's not much I can really disagree with. Do you know what I mean? Right, we're gonna listen. Let's head to the main topic, main story of today. This should put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Here we go. Finally, Willian is ready to. Yes! There's people in the back waiting to hear this news. Right, there's the big story of today. We're going to end with this. Willian is ready to leave Arsenal this summer. This is according to Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano, smashed it, nailed it, who declared that he will not be joining another English side, but is ready to leave. He is keen on a return to Chelsea. Speaking with Chelsea fans,
are they keen? No. that pretty much says it all. Listen, Willian, come on.
Willian out.
Maybe he's waiting for Louise to find out which club Louise is going to, and then he'll follow him there. Maybe.
And
open a new restaurant. And we got people that's got restaurants. We've got models. We've got I don't know what we've got.
No, I'm an advocate for players to do things alongside football, but I hear what you're saying. No, he's not on that. But I hear what you're saying. Maybe, I hear Louise is supposed to be going, word is it, we're going to Benfica. If Willian joins him, I think that's not bad. That's a good move for him.
That's what you should do. When a player comes, if it doesn't work out, forget his contract, get rid.
Yeah.
Other clubs do that. Yeah. So that would be a good sign if after a year, they come to the realization it hasn't worked, and you just move him on.
Yeah.
No point in digging your heels in.
But we hold on to players. Is what
we hold on to too many players when we should sell them. In reality, we know in the first year or two whether they're gonna make it at this club. Let's be honest. Willian's not gonna make it at Arsenal Football Club. He's not gonna bring us anywhere. He shouldn't be playing much games. See you later.
Most assists for Arsenal this season?
It's mad he's got most assists, but that doesn't mean nothing to me. That's just proof that stats can be manipulated in any which way. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
Good answer. I was trying to pick at you there. Right, let's wrap up with taking a few last comments. I don't know if there's any you've seen on there.
Yeah, Arsenal have chefs, gardeners, and models. I like that comment. I know, even though you're an advocate for it.
Listen, let players enjoy other things alongside football.
But they must focus,
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah. Very much hear that. Performance on the pitch is definitely vital.
100%.
But yeah. Right, we've got another super chat here from Mahesh. Do you think Arteta will be manager in January 2021? Give me a percentage. It was so wrong to keep Arteta on the job. Should have fired him to show ambition. I mean...
You asked me this now at the beginning of the transfer window. Having lost that to Emi Buendia, yeah, and the only pluses is the players being linked out of the club. I'm going to say right now 75% chance Arteta's not our manager in January.
I swear, that high?
You ask me again at the end of the window, I'll give you a better estimate, but I think it's 75% he won't be manager.
Wow.
Because it's going to happen. This is the roundabout, Cecil. This is the roundabout that happens. It's not like we're going to come into next season and hit the ground running and turn a corner and a new chapter's opened. The new chapter needs to be open in the transfer window.
True. But I think he'll be judged heavily between the start of the season to December. Yeah, you're right. To be fair,
if he's 7th till 7th to 11th, 12th from below, come December,
he has to go.
He'd be gone.
He has to go. That's outrageous.
But he should be gone, I'll say.
Yeah.
Then again, we're talking about the Cronkays and
the Arsenal. And,
yeah.
Quickly before we wrap up, would you be disappointed or would you be shocked if Basuma does not sign for us in this transfer window?
I'd be disappointed. Yes, shocked. No.
I'm going to put that to you guys as well in the comments of people watching. Would you be shocked or disappointed if Basuma does not sign for Arsenal this summer? Only because for me, he should be number one target after Buendia. But knowing what I've seen now and what I know,
yeah, a lot of people are saying, Josh just said it, Camavinga.
Camavinga?
Yeah.
Camavinga. Yeah, fair good replacement. People
again, that's
no.
a player I feel like is just out of our reach at where we are, because I feel like a better team would just swoop in. But listen, I'm all for that type. The potential is there to see.
People are agreeing with you. Everyone's saying same as Turkish, disappointed but not shocked, disappointed but not shocked. Agree with Turkish, disappointed but not shocked at all. Camavinga, exclamation mark, says JWZ Torch. Okay.
We're relying on Edu here.
That was gonna be one of the topics. Do we trust in Edu?
Got another thing there.
Do we rely on Edu? Let's just quick. I know we should be wrapping up, but sometimes things just carry on. Do we trust in Edu to bring in the players? Well, to me, it's obvious. It's a clear no. We've seen it already. But do you have any faith in Edu in bringing in players that you want to see at Arsenal?
Look, since Edu's been in, we've had some good signings that I don't necessarily attribute to him, but then I wouldn't be fair because I attribute some of the bad signings to him because of Kia, Durab Chain and his links, and Willian, Cedric and things like that.
Hey, allow Cedric.
But then we've got people like, was Tierney here? Was Tierney bought when Edu was here? I can't actually remember. I think he was. There's players there. Martinelli.
He signed in 2019.
Martinelli is definitely someone Edu brought in.
Yeah.
So
Tierney. I think Tierney was.
There's definitely players there that he's done well with, but again, it just doesn't make sense how he would have made those happen. But that would be me being unfair. I just feel like he hasn't got the credentials for the job. From when he come out halfway through the season and said, "We need to be patient with Willian." Yeah. If you know what you're talking about, you don't say that. If you know what you're talking about, you don't tell us to be patient with a man that's played 7 years in the league at 33 years of age. That's nonsense. And that to me proves that he's not the guy.
He's not equipped.
So, it's as much as Arteta gets a lot of criticism, Edu needs to get more because a lot of pressure is on him this summer too. Yeah. Buendia, negotiation, he failed with that.
I agreed.
Yeah, his hands might be tied by the Cronkays, which I believe they would be in some sense.
Yeah, they probably would have been. But still, it's your job to sell the club, and do you know what I mean? We're Arsenal, they're Aston Villa. No offense, because right now.
Andreas says also, I beg one of you, tell Robbie Neves is not a goal-scoring midfielder. He's like for like with Xhaka as a deep defensive playmaker. I know, when people see the goals banging in from 25 yards, it's the highlight reel.
It's the highlight reel.
If we get Neves and keep El Nene, then Basuma pursuit is over. That's the worry, Andreas. Like I said, Basuma is a necessity on top of Neves.
This is what I said. This is what I said when Robbie said this in Transfer Daily. He said me and James pardon him off, but I was like the number one option should be Basuma. Yeah. So that should be priority. Anyway,
I agree. And people, we just hit 500 likes, but there's 4,000 people watching. Get it up to 1,000 if you enjoyed today's News Daily or Cronk Out Daily. I guess when I'm on it, this is going to be called Cronk Out Daily. When I make an appearance on there, it's Cronk Out Daily because that's what I'm screaming. Gonna wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up in the professional way. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the AFTV News Daily live at 7 p.m. with myself, Cecil G, and Turkish. We'll see you again very, very soon. Take care.
Love.